bring back dignity. Time and time again I relapse, but love has never left me. Perhaps I should have found a way to pay it back. But if I get what you take, only take enough to swallow the pain. Drown the pain until it all wash away. From the night to the day you dream, you forgive my mistake. It becomes another habit to break. I'll replay it till the guilt turns to shame. From the night to the day you dream away. Who needs a heart that tears apart? Ruminating cycles me back at the start. Time and time again I relapse, but your love is always waiting. Perhaps I can't save myself, so I fade to black. But if I get what you take, only take enough to swallow the pain. Drown the pain until it all wash away. From the night to the day you dream, you forgive my mistake. It becomes another habit to break. I'll replay it till the guilt turns to shame. From the night to the day you dream Give and take, only take enough to swallow the pain. Drown the pain until it all wash away. From the night to the day you forgive my mistake. It becomes another habit to break. I'll replay it till the guilt turns to shame. From the night to the day. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? It's the end of the weekend, but I still wanna turn up. Yeah, I still wanna turn up. All I want is to go again, but you ain't picking your phone up. Why you messing my head up? Any night, any day, let me take you away. All I need is just saying yeah, 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 yeah. Better nights, better days, when you're here with me, babe. Cause you're all that I crave, so I wonder, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Don't hide away from me when I need you most. We got love guaranteed, and I have to know, say, where are you? Where are you? Don't be so hard to reach, just pick up your phone. Tell me where you'll be, cause I gotta know. Let me know when you're ready, cause I made reservations. Too many invitations, and the last night was heavy. I need communication. Tell me where's your location. Used to talk 24/7, every other second, just to make sure we were up to date. Now it's closer to 11, and I ain't hearing nothing. I just need to know that you're okay. Hide away from me when I need you most. We got love guaranteed, and I have to know, say, where are you? Hey, don't be so hard to reach, just pick 'cause I gotta know. Any night, any day, let me take you away. All I need is you saying yeah, yeah. Better nights, better days, when you're here with me, babe. 'Cause you're all I crave, so I wonder, where are you, baby? Don't hide away from me when I need you most. We got love guaranteed, and I have to know, say, so hard to reach, just pick up your phone, tell me where you'll be, 'cause I gotta know.
I can hear them thinking out loud, loud. Simple people acting so proud, proud. I hear them talking, talking, talking about us. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can hear them thinking out loud. One might think it's obvious. Please don't spill your mind when you don't have a clue, hey. They don't know about us, babe. They don't know about us. They can think what they want, baby, but they don't know one thing. Even if they did have a glimpse of our truth, they wouldn't know about us, no. They wouldn't know about us. They keep wishing that I'd fall in line, line. But you and me, babe, we're one of a kind, kind. One might think it's obvious. Please don't spill your mind when you don't have a clue, hey. They don't know about us, babe. They don't know about us. They can think what they want, baby, but they don't know one thing. Even if they did have a glimpse of our truth, they wouldn't know about us, no. They wouldn't know about us, 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 us. They don't know about us, us, us. They don't get it, babe, living in a cruel world. It's a rare thing to do just what we do, love. Hold your head high and do it by your own terms. They don't get it, babe, no. They don't get it, babe. They don't know about us, babe. They don't know about us. They can think what they want, baby, but they don't know one thing. Even if they did have a glimpse of our truth, they wouldn't know about us, no. They wouldn't know about us, us, us. They don't know about us, us,
I'ma need safety. Tell her op can't snake me. Ray gun off safety. My girl so tasty. Tell her it's your world. She want the two-tone spaceship. Blow smoke screen daily, so the stress don't faze me. I'm going, I keep it factual. I'm on sabbatical. I'm out in Central America. I need a break from hysteria. Park like the one with the carousel. I get it lit in your area. I'm locked to the vision, it couldn't be clear. You couldn't pay me to care enough. I dare you to hate me supreme with the sound through the stereo. So turn it up loud when you hearing us. We live and it's good in your area. My mama proud, she tearing up and it's going down. Got your girl aroused by these massive stacks like 100 pounds. Running big laps till the sun is down like 100 miles. Tinted frames on me leaning down. I'm winning now. Been a while, you ain't like me then, but how you like me now? Real one, if I hold you down, I'ma keep it there till we in the ground. Jet black when I paint the town, only blue sheets when they pay me now. Treat it setback like a step back. Wave, I got the game in a vice grip. Way up when the virus clear. All the homies on the flight list. Verbally gifted, take the plot and I twist it. Got it big lit. Sex with the incense, got my mind rents, won't stop, I'm relentless. I'ma need safety, till the op can't snake me. Ray gun on safety, my girl so tasty. Tell her it's your world, she want the two-tone spaceship. Blow smoke screen daily, so the stress don't face me. I'm going, I want a grill for the mouthpiece, so bright that it light on my face. Your shawty just call me a fave, cause she like my character traits. I never stop for a break, I put a lock on the game. I put a stock in my name, but I give a f about the fame. I took a bite of that life and it tastes so exquisite. It feel like you do when you look in my pendant. Hopeless romantic, my girl, chin up for the kid. I'm not on no simps. Won't stop to the youngest he dreams. Wanna take him from rags to riches. I heard that you claim that you know me, but you ain't the homie. The f is your friendship. I need the loyalty, bag up the royalty. I give a f if you notice me. Ain't nobody holding me. Big wave at your shoreline, so they know it's me. Babe boy from the cold seas. Nitro with a new pen, go at ISO. Tell him don't reach. Ice cold with it, no fleece. I'ma need safety. Tell the op can't snake me. Ray gun on safety.
You broke my heart 1,000,000 times. Can't count the times I made you cry. Oh, it's such a mess now. And
Mic check 1 2.
I get so sad.
Mic check 1 2. Good morning. Good morning. Audio levels look good. What's happening, everybody? We back at it. No days off. Yes, Thomas, you got to catch chapter 2. Chapter 2 was a good one. Today's going to be a good one, too. What's happening, Christian? Salute, sir. Present and accounted for. That's what's up. Mr. Awesome is in the house. My guy, What the Funk, is here. This is a short chapter. Chapter 3 is a short one. Hey, Miss Drea. Salute. Salute, Miss Drea. Salute, Miss Drea.
Can we be honest? You're my comfort zone. Whatever I say, don't let me go. I know you're angry, babe, and I am cold. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. I can't bear the thought of losing.
We are moving on to chapter 3 today. I'm excited. Work things out. Work things out. Something I gotta do real quick. Go to my timers. Turn the timers on. Cool. Welcome to another chapter of Rich People Read. I don't have anything fancy to say. I still have not created the intro, so we're going to just say welcome to another chapter of Rich People Read, where we are currently on our third chapter of Think and Grow Rich. We are currently reading the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It was written in 1925. And the unabridged version was released in 1938. Somebody else said it was released in 1937. What difference does it make? That's like splitting hairs, right? 1937, 1938. The point is, it was written a long time ago, almost 100 years ago. It was released only about 10 or so years after that. And since that time to this day, this book has made more people wealthy than any other book, any other modern day book published. Arguably. One of the books that's made more people wealthy than any other book that's ever been published. Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. And so we're reading this book together. You know, I know a lot of people do not like to read. I'm one of those people who do not like to read, but I know it's required. It's a prerequisite to wealth building. It's a prerequisite to wealth building. Uh-oh, who we got? Tresh. Shout out to Tresh. Appreciate you. Tresh hit us with a super chat. How come I didn't see it in my notes? I didn't see the super chat. That's odd. Hey, Miss Parker. Good morning, Miss Parker. Where's that super chat at? You know what? Let me get my ish together real quick. Hold on. I gotta bring up my I have to bring up the stream so I can do the pop out of the chat. Hopefully everything is working well. And then we'll do the chat pop out. And then I can close this window. You know, we have to have everything right. And it's sometimes difficult for me to get everything going the way I should. Everybody has their problems. This is one of mine. Now, I didn't see the super chat. So you know what? That super chat may be something else. I ain't gonna even front. No, I don't know what that's about. I do know. Uh-oh, my alarm system is going on. Sorry about that. My alarm system was going off at my office downtown. Had to clear the alarm. Square Biz, thank you. Thank you. Square Biz says, where'd it go? Square Biz blessed the channel with a $20 super chat. He says, I love to read, fam. And I don't love to read. But I love to acquire the knowledge that you get from reading. So I'm forced to read. It's almost like working out. Like some people love to work out. Some people love being in the gym. And then other people love the results of what they get from the gym. I'm one of the people who love the results of working out, but not necessarily the workout. The work strenuous part, the sweating and all that. I don't like that part. I just keep it 100 with you. I don't like that part. But the results, the fact that I can look the way I look at almost 50 years old. The fact that I can still have hard pounding sex. I like the results of all the hard work I do. So it causes me to do the hard work. I know some brothers my age that they're having trouble with looking good. They're having trouble with, I know some brothers younger than me that's having trouble with looking good. They look like they almost, you know, they look old. They look like old grandpas and they only like 46. It's weird. I know some brothers have an issue with having good sex. You know, they just tucker out. There's no longevity. Endurance is not there. No stamina. Women have an issue with men, some men my age, who have no stamina. That's because those men don't want to put in the work to make sure that they keep their temple in the best shape that it needs to be in. I enjoy the results of working out, of eating, and taking my vitamins and doing all the things I'm supposed to do. It's the same thing with reading. It's the same thing with reading, Square Biz. See, Square Biz, you love to read. Shout out to you, bro. I don't like to read, but I love the information that I get from it. I enjoy being in a conversation and knowing what the fuck I'm talking about. I enjoy being in a conversation and knowing what I'm talking about. Have you guys ever gone to a social event, maybe a party or some sort, and people are sitting around talking, and you can't get involved in that conversation because you have no idea what they're talking about? That's 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that happened to me. I said, no more. That'll never happen to me again, where these guys are having this intellectual conversation and I have no idea what they're talking about. So now I read because I love to get the information. And now I can be in any circle, at any location, and be able to assimilate with that conversation. And I know you guys know people that's been around you while you have conversations with people, and then there's somebody standing around, they don't know what they're talking about. Just kind of like an airhead, just being there. Maybe it's a real pretty girl. She just being kind of like a trophy. She can't engage into the conversation. That's why we read, people. That's why we think and grow rich, because you want to be able to have the kind of intellect that allows you to socialize with intellectuals. Bridging the gap. Shout out to my guy RG with the cha-chings. Shout out to my guy RG with the cha-chings. Hit us, blessing the channel. Again, he always blesses the channel. Some of you guys, you always bless the channel. What does RG say? In the middle of moving to my new townhouse, we'll be popping in and out, but wanted to show some support. How many of you guys are in the middle of moving to your new townhouse? I keep talking to people about the law of reciprocity. This book talks about the law of reciprocity, right? We read about it in chapter 1. He's moving into his new townhouse. And what did I say before I read it? He's always blessing the channel. See, that's what karma does. Karma is a it's a two-way swinging door. You do bad shit will happen to you, but you do good shit will happen to you. Shout out to my guy RG moving into his new townhouse. I'm sure it's going to be fly and laid out. Appreciate you being here. Just tap in with us, man. Just throw in your earbuds and just listen to us read. Just listen to us read. Lakeisha, good morning, love. Good to see you here. Hey, Mika. Good to have you here, too. Miss Parker's here. Who else is here? Cool. I think I've caught up on the people that's in the chat. You know, there's a chat contest going on. Make sure you pay attention to the things that's being read in the chat. The free gift card from Bars Raw. I like this shirt here. Every time you see me, all the clothes I wear are mine. The clothes that I wear on this show, I make or I design completely from scratch, or I construct or put together. So this is a t-shirt brand. This is just a streetwear brand. So I don't cut and sew the t-shirts that we have. I cut and sew my dresses and other stuff. But the t-shirts, I don't cut and sew, but we do all the printing in-house. That's why my alarm went off just now at my office downtown. So whenever you guys see, he's like, this dude always wearing a black t-shirt with something on it. Everything I wear can be found on my podcast. I'm only wearing the Bars Raw brand. So the gift cards that I give away, you guys can get this stuff. Members of our group, you guys are going to be getting your gift cards so you guys can get their membership shirts. We give away the stuff. All the gift cards go to this. So if you like the t-shirts I wear, you can always grab them at Bars Raw. I appreciate you guys being here. We're getting ready to read chapter 3, the faith, visualization, and belief in attainment of desire in the book Think and Grow Rich. Does everybody have their book? If you don't have your book, do you have your phone ready where you went and got the book on the book app? If you have an iPhone, go to the book app and get yourself a copy of Think and Grow Rich. They're free. There's like 3 free ones on there. And then there's a couple of them that's only like $2 or something like that. Uh-oh. What's going on here? You guys are blessing the channel early today like that? Mika G, thank you so much. She's a long-time support. See, you guys are what I consider day ones. I just started this stuff a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. I just started this channel 2 months ago. Invariably, all of you guys that's hanging out with me now, that support me, the names that I'm getting used to, we've only met on YouTube. But you guys are like, as far as I'm concerned, my day ones. As the channel grows, I'm going to always remember the people who was here first. Shout out to my girl, Mika G. She says, continue to bring your inspiration of becoming your best self. We appreciate those that speak greatness. Thank you so much, Mika G. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for blessing the channel. Make sure you follow the instructions so you can get your gift card. Make sure you follow. If you want this t-shirt, absolutely free shipping, the whole nine. Make sure you hit me with the gift. Send the email to superchat@shannonrawls.com. My team will take care of it from there. Let me open up my notes. I came here totally unprepared. Let's go to my topics. Let's go to Think and Grow Rich. Double click on that. I got my notes open. We're good to go. We are good to go. Started that. I want everybody to subscribe to the channel, please. Can everybody please subscribe to this channel? It really helps and it motivates me to continue to do what I'm doing. You know, a subscription is kind of like a product review. You know how you buy stuff on Amazon or you go shopping on the internet, they ask you to give a review on that product. Well, a subscription is similar. If you subscribe to my channel, my subscription numbers go up, but it shows other people that people enjoy listening to the content that I bring. So please subscribe to the channel. And are you guys hitting the like button on this video? Are you guys hitting the like button on this video? Did you hit the like button? It takes, you know, that's free, right? It costs nothing. And if you're watching this on your smartphone, all you got to do is hit the X, because it's probably showing you the live chat. Hit the X in the corner, lower the chat, hit the thumbs up button, and then swing back around and then hit live chat. That's all you got to do. I'm asking you guys to do that for me. Thank you so much. And to join the army, please join the membership. We have a great membership with a lot of different perks in it. You can see all the different perks on those different levels. There's content that's released only to the members. It's content that's released only to the members. The general public cannot see it all. We're going to be doing lives only for the members. I give away items only to the members. I do private consultations only with the members. So if you guys want to join the membership, I'd love to have you. Thank you so much. Everybody, for the people.
Being number one isn't easy.
Being number one isn't easy. Soldiers, please throw your ones up for Mika G and RG. Please throw your ones up for the people that's supporting the channel with a super chat. You'll see it in the emoticon. Square Biz. Give them a thumb, a number one.
Being number one isn't easy.
That's for everybody that's supporting the channel with these dope super chats. That's right, Mr. Awesome. You see that finger that Mr. Awesome just threw up just now? That's available only to the members. Everybody else, just throw up a number one. Just type the number one. Soldiers, put up the number one. Appreciate you guys so much. All right, we getting ready to read. Anybody have any questions? I don't think so. I don't think so. Princess is here. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Princess. Oh, B. Rodney is here, 89. B. Rodney is here. She says this type of content is way better than trash on television. Absolutely. Absolutely. Even people that's driving in their car, isn't it better to sit there and hear somebody read something positive than to listen to another song talking about drop it like it's hot, or I'm trapping in the hood. I'm trapping in the hood. We don't need to hear that. There's a time and place for all of that. Right? All right, guys. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get on to the reading. This is chapter 3 of Think and Grow Rich. This is chapter 3 of Think and Grow Rich. I want to be sure I'm clear for everybody. My voice is a little deeper today. You know, it's cold. It's like hot and cold in California, so it's been messing with my sinuses. But as a result, I've been As a result of my sinuses being messed up, my voice got a little deeper today. So hopefully I'm nice and clear and concise. You guys enjoy hearing what I'm saying. And if you're reading along with us, great. If you're just listening to us, that's great too. Right? We always do sidebars. As I read, I talk about the things that I read. This is not just your normal audiobook. That's why it's video, commentary. That's how we do it. And then next month, we're going to read a whole nother book. We're going to continuously read. We're going to always read. We're going to always edify our minds with great information. Chapter 3 of Think and Grow Rich, faith, visualization of and belief in attainment of desire. The second step towards riches. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. When faith is blended with the vibration of thought, the subconscious mind instantly picks up the vibration, translates it into its spiritual equivalent, and transmits it to infinite intelligence, as in the case of prayer. The emotions of faith, love, and sex are the most powerful of all the positive emotions. When the three are blended, shout out to Christian for the $5 super chat. By the way, I'm going to always interrupt reading when somebody blesses this channel financially, because you don't have to do that and you do it anyway. So I'm always going to stop reading. We can go back and read. I have to acknowledge the people that take care of the channel. Thank you so much, Christian. I absolutely appreciate you for putting out great content, he says. Your channel is a breath of fresh air on these YouTube streets. Thank you and salute. Yes, sir. Appreciate you for your support, man. I appreciate you, Christian, for your support. The emotions of faith, love, and sex are the most powerful of all the major positive emotions. When the three are blended, they have the effect of coloring the vibration of thought in such a way that it instantly reaches the subconscious mind, where it is changed into its spiritual equivalent, the only form that induces a response from the infinite intelligence. Love and faith are psychic. Hear me out. Love and faith are psychic, related to the spiritual side of man. Sex is purely biological and related only to the physical side of man. The mixing or blending of these three emotions has the effect of opening a direct line of communication between the finite thinking mind of man and the infinite intelligence. Now, how do you develop faith? How to develop faith? There comes now a statement which will give a better understanding of the importance of the principle of autosuggestion. Assumes in the transmutation of desire into its physical or monetary, monetary. That's what monetary means for those ladies and gentlemen that don't know. When anybody says monetary, they're talking about money. Or monetary equivalent, namely faith, is a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through the principles of autosuggestion. Well, I'm going to explain to you guys autosuggestion today. You're going to learn what autosuggestion is. As an illustration, consider the purpose for which you are, presumably, reading this book. The object of reading this book is naturally to acquire the ability to transmute the intangible thought impulse of desire into its physical counterpart, money. That's what we're here for, ladies and gentlemen, money. By following the instructions laid down in the chapters on autosuggestion and the subconscious mind, as summarized in the chapter on autosuggestion, you may convince your subconscious mind that you believe you will receive that for which you ask, and it will act upon that belief, which your subconscious mind passes back to you in the form of faith, followed by the definite plans for procuring that which you desire. The method by which one develops faith where it does not already exist is extremely difficult to describe, almost as difficult, in fact, as it would be to describe the color of red to a blind man who'd never seen the color before. and has nothing which to compare what you describe to him. Faith is a state of mind which you may develop at will after you have mastered the 13 principles, because it is a state of mind which develops voluntarily through application and the use of these 13 principles. Repetition of affirmation of orders to your subconscious mind is the only known method of voluntary development of the emotion of faith. Perhaps the meaning may be made clearer through the following explanation as to the way men sometimes become criminals. Stated in the words of a famous criminologist, when men first come into contact with crime, they abhor it, they hate it. If they remain in contact with crime for a time, they become accustomed to it, and then they endure it. If they remain in contact with it long enough, they finally embrace it and become influenced by it. Think about, here, let's just keep this real quick. Sidebar, everybody, sidebar. Think about the homies in the hood. Since I know a lot of African Americans and black people are reading along with me this morning, think about what they just said and think about the homies in the hood. He says basically when criminals first come into contact with crime, they hate it. They abhor it. That's usually our children when they're young. But if they hang around crime a little bit longer, they tend to tolerate it. If they hang around crime a little bit longer, a little more time in and out of crime, all they see is crime, all they know is crime, everybody around them is doing criminal activity, they become a part of it. Your environment shapes who you are. Your environment shapes who you are, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it's important to make sure that you get around the right type of people. I tell people all the time, if you hang around 9 millionaires, guess who's going to be number 10? If you hang around 9 millionaires, can you take a wild guess as to who will be number 10? Now, with that said, who do you hang around with? Who do you kick it with? Who do you go to lunch with? Who did you hang out with last weekend? Who were you on the phone with last night? You can't talk about wanting to be something, but the people you hanging around ain't nothing like that. Sorry. Anyways, let's continue. This is the equivalent of saying that any impulse of thought which is repeatedly passed on to the subconscious mind is finally accepted and acted upon by the subconscious mind, which proceeds to translate that impulse into its physical and equivalent. It's physical and equivalent by the most practical procedure available. In connection with this, consider again the statement: all thoughts which have been emotionalized, given, feeling, and mixed with faith, begin immediately to translate themselves into their physical equivalent or counterpart. The emotions or the feeling portion of your thoughts are the factors which give thoughts vitality, life, and action. The emotions of faith, love, and sex, when mixed with any thought impulse, give it greater action than any of these emotions can do all by themselves, singly. Not only thought impulses which have been mixed with faith, but those which have been mixed with any of the other positive emotions or any of the negative emotions may reach and influence the subconscious mind. From this statement, you will understand that the subconscious mind will translate into its physical equivalent a thought impulse of a negative or destructive nature just as readily as it will act upon thought impulses of a positive or a constructive nature. This accounts for the strange phenomenon which so many millions of people experience, referred to as misfortune, or as we commonly call it, bad luck. There are millions and millions of people who believe themselves to be somehow inherently doomed to poverty and failure because of some strange force over which they believe they have no control. They are the creators of their own misfortunes because of this negative belief. which is picked up by the subconscious mind and translated into its physical equivalent. Because you think you poor, sidebar, because you think you are destitute, because you believe and think impoverished thoughts, you live in a poverty in reality. You live an impoverished life. Because you think you poor, you become poor. This is an appropriate place at which to suggest, again, that you may benefit by passing on your subconscious mind any desire which you wish translated into its physical or monetary equivalent in a state of expectancy or belief that the transmutation will actually take place. Your belief or faith is the element which determines the action of your subconscious mind. There is nothing to hinder you from deceiving your subconscious mind when giving it instructions through autosuggestion, as I deceived my son's subconscious mind. He's talking about his son back from chapter 2. To make this deceit more realistic, conduct yourself just as you would if you were already in possession of the material thing which you are demanding, in my case, money. When you call upon your subconscious mind, the subconscious mind will transmute into its physical equivalent by the most direct and practical media available any order which is given to it in the state of belief or faith that the order will be carried out. Surely enough has been stated to give a starting point from which one may, through experiment and practice, acquire the ability to mix faith with any order given to the subconscious mind. Perfection will come through practice. Granted that, right? It cannot come by merely reading instructions. Let me read that again. Perfection will come through practice, right? It cannot come by merely reading instructions. If it be true that one may become a criminal in association with crime, and this is a known fact, right? It is equally true that one may develop faith by voluntarily suggesting to the subconscious mind that one has faith. The mind comes finally to take on the nature of the influences which dominate it. Understand this truth, and you will know why it is essential for you to encourage the positive emotions as dominating forces of your mind and discourage and eliminate negative emotions. A mind dominated by positive emotions, becomes a favorable abode for the state of mind known as faith. A mind so dominated may at will give the subconscious mind instructions which it will accept and act upon immediately. Now, faith is a state of mind which may be induced by autosuggestion. All down the ages, the religionists have admonished struggling humanity to have faith. They've always wanted you to have faith. For centuries, every religion wants you to have faith in this, that, and the other dogma or creed, but they have failed to tell people how to have faith. They have not stated that faith is a state of mind and that it may be induced by self-suggestion. In language, English language in our situation, which any normal human being can understand, we will describe all that is known about the principle through which faith may be developed, where it does not already exist. Have faith in yourself, faith in the infinite. Before we begin, you should be reminded again that faith is the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. The foregoing sentence is worth reading a second time, and a third, and a fourth. It is worth reading aloud. For those that are reading, let's read this together. Faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Let's read it again. Faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Let's read it again. Faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Faith is the basis of all miracles and all mysteries which cannot be analyzed by the rules of science. Faith is the only known antidote for failure. Faith is the only known cure for failure. Faith is the element, the chemical, which, when mixed with prayer, gives one direct communication with infinite intelligence. Faith is the element which transforms the ordinary vibration of thought created by the infinite mind of man into the spiritual equivalent. And faith is the only agency through which the cosmic force of infinite intelligence can be harnessed and used by man. Every one of the foregoing statements is capable of proof. Basically, we could prove everything that we just read. The proof is simply and easily demonstrated. It is wrapped up in the principle of autosuggestion. Let us center our attention, therefore, upon the subject of self-suggestion and find out what it is and what it is capable of achieving. It is a well-known fact that one comes finally to believe whatever one repeats to oneself, whether that statement be true or false. If a man or woman repeats a lie over and over again, they will eventually accept the lie as truth. We know that, right? Moreover, if a woman or a man will believe it to be the truth, every man is what he is because of the dominating thoughts which they permit to occupy their mind. Thoughts which a man or a woman deliberately places in their own mind and encourages with sympathy, and with which he mixes any one or more of the emotions, constitute the motivating forces which direct and control his every movement, act, and deed. Comes now a very significant statement of truth. Thoughts which are mixed with any of the feelings of emotions constitute a magnetic force which attracts from the vibrations of the ether over similar or related thoughts. A thought thus magnetized, which emotion may be compared to a seed, which, when planted in fertile soil, germinates, grows, and multiplies itself over and over again until that which was originally one small seed becomes countless millions of seeds of the same brand. The ether is a great cosmic mass of eternal forces of vibration. It is made up of both destructive vibrations and constructive vibrations. It carries at all times vibrations of fear and poverty and disease and failure and misery, and vibrations of prosperity and health, success and happiness, just as surely as it carries the sound of hundreds of orchestrations of music and hundreds of human voices, all of which maintain their own individuality and means of identification through the medium of radio. From the great storehouse of the ether, the human mind is constantly attracting vibrations which harmonize with that which dominates the human mind. Any thought, idea, plan, or purpose which one holds in one's mind attracts from the vibrations of the ether a host of its relatives, adds these relatives to its own force, and grows until it becomes the dominating, motivating master of the individual in whose mind it has been housed. Now, you guys, listen up. Let's go back to the starting point and become informed as to how the original seed of an idea, plan, or purpose may be planted in the mind. And attribute this to attribute this to anything that you're doing. An idea that you woke up with. A thought, maybe it's a business venture. Maybe it's an entrepreneur ship that you're thinking about embarking upon. Think about maybe something that you thought of. Maybe you were sitting on the toilet one day and a fucking light bulb. You know, you heard it. We don't make up this stuff out of nowhere, right? I know some people could read this book and, man, well, they're crazy. But then I bet you had a light bulb idea one day. Somehow like a light bulb literally lit up above your head. That's where that comes from. It's just idea just popped in your mind. Well, with that idea that you thought about, here we go. Now, let's go back to the starting point and become informed as to how the original seed of an idea, a plan, or purpose may be planted in the mind. The information is easily conveyed. Any idea, plan, or purpose may be placed in the mind through repetition of thought. This is why you are asked to write out a statement of your major purpose, a definite chief aim, committed to memory, and repeat it in audible words day after day until these vibrations of sound have reached your subconscious mind. We are what we are because of the vibrations of thought which we pick up and register through the stimuli of our daily environment. Resolve to throw off the influences of any unfortunate environment and to build your own life to order. I'm going to repeat that again. This is basically saying get out the hood and get away from negative people. This is basically saying get out the hood, get away from negative people, and only and protect your energy. That's what that sentence really means. Resolve to throw off the influences of any unfortunate environment and to build your own life to order. Taking inventory of mental assets and liabilities, you will discover that your greatest weakness is lack of self-confidence. This handicap can be surmounted and timidly translated into courage through the aid of the principle of autosuggestion. The application of this principle may be made through a simple arrangement of positive thought impulses stated in writing, memorized, and repeated until they become part of the working equipment of the subconscious faculty of your mind. Self-confidence formula. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. Second, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Third, I know. Shout out to Mr. Awesome. Shout out to Mr. Awesome for the $5 super chat. He says Mr. Hill, Mr. Napoleon Hill, is pulling from string theory. What determines which subatomic particle is existing in the frequency of quantum strings? Theory of everything. School me, Mr. Awesome. School me. You know I'm gonna learn. Hold on, let me look that up. String theory. Teach me something, bro. I'm gonna learn that. Shout out to Mr. Awesome for the super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your continued support of the channel. Third, I know the principle of autosuggestion. Any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. 10 minutes a day of demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Fourth, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life. This isn't, I told you guys before, this book is not just self-help, it's an instruction manual, and you have to do the tasks that this book is telling you to do if you intend to get what you claim you want. If you don't do what this book is telling you to do, and this is a sidebar, if you don't do what this book is telling you to do not expect to attain what you think you want. You can't do some of it. You have to do all of it. Do it with your partner. If you are in a relationship, get with your partner. Both of you guys do this book together. Do it in love. Do it with your bestie. Do it with the homie. But do it nonetheless. You got to do the actions that this book is telling you to do. Fourth, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life. And I will never stop trying until, hold on. Oh, getting all these notifications. Let me go back. Fourth, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life. And I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. I don't like how I read that. Let me do it again. Fourth, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. That's deep, and that's real. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, and jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula and commit it to my memory and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. Back of this formula is law of nature, which no man has yet been able to explain. It has baffled the scientists of all ages. The psychologists have named this law autosuggestion and let it go at that. The name by which one calls this law is of little importance. The important fact about it is that it works. It works for the glory and success of all mankind if it is used constructively. On the other hand, if it's used destructively, it will destroy just as readily. In this statement may be found a very significant truth, namely, that those who go down in defeat and end their lives in poverty and misery and distress do so because of negative application of the principle of autosuggestion. The cause may be found in the fact that all impulses of thought have a tendency to clothe themselves in their physical equivalent. The subconscious mind, the chemical laboratory in which all thought impulses are combined and made ready for a translation into its physical reality, makes no distinction between constructive and destructive thought impulses. It works with the material we feed it. Through our thought impulses, the subconscious mind will translate into reality a thought driven by fear just as readily as it will translate into reality a thought driven by courage and faith. The pages of medical history are rich with illustrations of cases of suggestive suicide. A man may commit suicide through negative suggestion just as effectively as any other means. In a Midwestern city, a man by the name of Joseph Grant, a bank official, borrowed a large sum of the bank's money without the consent of the directors. That means he stole some money. He lost the money through gambling. One afternoon, the bank examiner came and began to check the accounts. Grant had left the bank, took the room in a local hotel, and when they found him 3 days later, he was lying in bed, wailing and moaning, repeating over and over these words: "My God, this will kill me. I cannot stand the disgrace." In a short time, he was dead. The doctors pronounced the case of this mental suicide. He thought his way to death. Just as electricity will turn on the wheels of the industry and render useful service if used constructively, or snuff out life if wrongly used, so will the law of autosuggestion lead you to peace and prosperity, or down the valley of misery, failure, and death, according to your degree of understanding and application of it. If you fill your mind, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, if you fill your mind with fear, doubt, and unbelief in your ability to connect with and use the forces of infinite intelligence, the law of autosuggestion will take this spirit of unbelief that you have and use it as a pattern by which your subconscious mind will translate it into its physical equivalent. This statement is as true as the statement that 2 + 2 is 4. Like the wind that carries one ship east and another ship west, the law of autosuggestion will lift you up or pull you down according to the way you set your sails of thought. The law of autosuggestion, through which any person may rise to altitudes of achievement which stagger the imagination, is well described in the following verse. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can't, it's almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out of the world we find success begins with the fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man. But soon or late, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Shout out to Mr. Awesome for another $2 super chat. I appreciate you. Shout out to Mr. Awesome for another super chat. The lead attorney is in the house. Uh-oh. The lead attorney's here. Mr. Awesome, thank you for the super chat. This covers the placebo effect as well. Yes, the placebo effect. Does everybody know what the placebo effect is? Shout out to the lead. The lead is my inspiration for being here. And even though he's younger than me, he's like my big bro. 20 years in the game, and he knows a lot more than I do when it comes to behaviors in people, because he deals with them on a daily basis. Shout out to the lead for being here. Yes, Mr. Awesome, you are absolutely right. This covers the placebo effect. Do you guys know what the placebo effect is? Sidebar. The placebo effect is, and there's a movie about it with Nicolas Cage. I can't think. Can somebody give me the name of the movie with Nicolas Cage where he was taking medicine and he thought he got better, but he was just getting some bullshit so they could rob him of his millions? I forget the name of the movie. Somebody go look it up and put it in the chat. The placebo effect, in essence, is, say, for instance, you think you're ill. Say, for instance, you feel like you're ill. You think you're sick. You know, you think something's wrong with you. And maybe the doctor ran some tests and they can't find anything wrong with you, but you still think something's wrong with you. Doc, I'm telling you, I got a pain right here in my heart. You know what the doctor will do? You know what? I got the medicine for you. I got the medicine that you need. But this is a very special prescription and only I can give it to you. Please take this prescription, go to the local CVS and get it out. Take this 2 times a day, every day. Don't miss for the next 10 days. I guarantee you'll feel better. The person takes this prescription. They feeling bad. They wobble into the CVS. They give it to the pharmacist. The pharmacist smiles because he knows what was given to him. The pharmacist says, please take this medicine. It's a special medicine just for you. It'll fix you up. The person starts to take that medicine. They're so excited that they're going to get better. They start getting better. Halfway through, they feel halfway better. By the end of the time that they're finished with the medicine, they feel fantastic. Wow, this is great. Man, Doc, I appreciate you. What was that? I need another prescription. That was great. Placebo. The doctor gave him some candy. There was no nutritional value in the medicine the doctor prescribed, because when the doctor first ran the test, there was nothing wrong with it. It was all in his mind or her mind that they were sick. It was all in the mind that they were sick. The doctor gave him some fucking Tic Tacs. They gave him some candy. And the person thought it was medicine that was going to fix their ailment. So they took it. And because they thought the medicine was working, they suddenly started becoming better. They started to feel better. The pain started to subside. They started to feel stronger. They praised the doctor for being so smart and running these tests and knowing exactly what's wrong with them. And the doctor simply gave him what we call a placebo. He gave him a placebo, something that was nothing. Something that was nothing. But the patient thought it was something. And because they thought it was something, they started to feel better. Matchstick men. Thank you, Mr. Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Awesome. You guys want to understand what the placebo effect is? You want to really understand what the placebo effect is? As Mr. Awesome gave us that super chat, go watch the movie Matchstick Men. Thank you. 2003 with Nicolas Cage. That movie perfectly explains the placebo effect. Thank you, Mr. Awesome. Appreciate you. The match, that's an assignment, everybody. That's an assignment. That's an assignment. Yes. And Mr. Awesome says it works negatively also. I remember hearing about a man who died in a freezer that was turned off. Welcome because he believed he was freezing to death. Shout out to Eric for subscribing to the channel. Somebody died in a freezer because he thought he was freezing to death, but the damn freezer was turned off. The placebo effect. Shout out to you, Mr. Awesome. You're such a blessing to this channel. Let's continue. Observe the words which have been emphasized, and you will catch the deep meaning which the poet had in mind. Somewhere in your makeup, perhaps in the cells of your brain, there lies sleeping and the seed of achievement, which, if aroused and put into action, would carry you to heights such as you may never have hoped to attain. Just as a master musician, right, may cause the most beautiful strains of music to pour forth from the strings of a violin, so may you arouse the genius which lies asleep in your brain. You may arouse the genius that lies asleep in your brain and cause it to drive you upward or whatever goal you may wish to achieve. Abraham Lincoln was a failure at everything he tried until he was well past the age of 40. Abraham Lincoln was a failure at everything he tried until he turned 40 years old. Shout out to Marvelette for the super chat. Marvelette. Salute to you, Marvy. You always blessing the channel. Marvy, what you want me to just give you your money back? All you doing is paying yourself. Thank you, Marvelette. That's an inside joke. Most people don't know what we're talking about. Thank you, Marvy. I appreciate your support, love. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting it. She didn't even have nothing to say. She just said thank you. Marvy just said thank you and hit and bless the channel with a $10 super chat. Abraham Lincoln was a failure at everything he tried until he was well past the age of 40. He was Mr. Nobody from nowhere until a great experience came into his life, arousing the sleeping genius within his heart and his brain, and gave the world one of its really great men. That experience was mixed with the emotions of sorrow and love. It came to him through Anne Rutledge, the only woman who he ever truly loved. Did you guys know that? Did you know that that was the only woman that Abraham Lincoln ever truly loved? Anne Rutledge. It is a known fact that the emotion of love, we're getting deep now, y'all. This is going to touch some of you guys personally. This is going to touch some of you guys personally. Yes, Kim. Yes, Kim. I'm glad you're here. The power of the mind is mind-blowing. So here we go. This is going to touch some of you guys because some of you guys have been in love and is currently in love. It is a known fact that the emotion of love is closely akin to the state of mind known as faith. And this for the reason that love comes very near to translating one's thoughts, impulses into their spiritual equivalent. During his work of research, the author discovered from the analysis of the life, work, and achievement of hundreds of men of outstanding accomplishment that there was the influence of a woman's love back nearly every one of them. Damn near every successful man, every rich man, every man of wealth and power, almost nearly all of them was in love at some point or had had something to do with it. Shout out to EJ NYC. Does that stand for New York City? Shout out to EJ NYC. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. You get blessing the channel and you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. Thank you for helping me continue this work. During his work of research, the author discovered from the analysis of the life work of achievements of hundreds of men and of outstanding accomplishment that there was the influence of a woman's love in back of nearly every one of those successful men. The emotion of love in the human heart and brain creates a favorable field of magnetic attraction, which causes an influx of the higher and finer vibrations, which are afloat in the ether. If you wish evidence of the power of faith, study the achievements of men and women who have employed it. At the head of the list comes the Nazarene. Christianity is the greatest single force which influences the minds of men. The basis of Christianity is faith. No matter how many people have perverted it or misinterpreted the meaning of this great force, and no matter how many dogmas and creeds have been created in its name, which do not reflect its tenets, the sum of the substance of the teachings and the achievements of Christ may have been interpreted as miracles, where nothing more or less than faith. If there are any such phenomena as miracles, they are produced only through the state of mind known as faith. Some teachers of religion and many who call themselves quote unquote Christians neither understand nor even practice faith. Let us consider the power of faith as it is now being demonstrated by a man who is well known to all of civilization, Mahatma Gandhi of India. We all know who Gandhi is, right? Mahatma Gandhi. In this man, Mahatma Gandhi, the world has one of the most astounding examples known to civilization of the possibilities of faith. Gandhi wields more potential power than any man living at this time. And this, despite the fact that he has none of the orthodox tools of power, such as money, battleships. He didn't have none of that. He didn't have no soldiers. And materials of warfare. He had no guns, no bombs, no RPGs, no mines, no tanks. He had none of that. Gandhi has no money. He has no home. He does not own a suit of clothes, but he does have power. How does he come by that power? He created it out of his understanding of the principles of faith and through his ability to transplant that faith into the minds of 200 million people. Gandhi has accomplished through the influence of faith that which the strongest military on earth could not do and never will accomplish through soldiers and military equipment. Gandhi has accomplished the astounding feat of influencing 200 million minds to coalesce and move in unison as one single mind. As one single mind. What other force on earth except faith could do as much? There will come a day when employees as well as employers will discover the possibilities of faith. That day is dawning. The whole world has had ample opportunity during the recent business depression to witness what the lack of faith will do to a business, right? We know what the lack of faith will do. Surely civilization has produced a sufficient number of intelligent human beings to make use of this great lesson, which the Depression has taught the world. During this Depression, the world has evidence in abundance that widespread fear will paralyze the wheels of industry and business. Out of this experience will arise leaders in business and industry who will profit by the example which Gandhi has set for the world. And they will apply to business the same tactics which he has used in building the greatest following known in history of the world. Jeff Bezos. You want to know about the power of faith? Learn about the history of Amazon. You guys want to know about the power of faith? Learn the story of Amazon. The deep story, not the surface shit. These leaders will come from the rank and file of the unknown men who now labor in the steel plants, the coal mines, the automobile factories, Tesla, and in the small towns and cities of America. Business is due for a reform. Make no mistake about this. The methods, and remember, this book is written in 1925. So I'm reading in 1925 frame of mind. Business is due for a reform. Make no mistake about this. The method of the past, based on the economic combinations of force and fear, will be supplanted by the better principles of faith and cooperation. Men who labor will receive more than daily wages. They will receive dividends from the business, the same as those who supply the capital for business. But first, they must give more to their employers, and stop this bickering and bargaining by force at the expense of the public. They must earn the right to the dividends. Moreover, and this is the important thing of all, the most important thing of all, they will be led by leaders who will understand and apply the principles employed by Mahatma Gandhi. Only in this way may leaders get from their followers the spirit of full cooperation, which constitutes power in its highest and most enduring form. This stupendous machine age in which we live and form which we are just emerging has taken the soul out of men. Its leaders have driven men as though they were pieces of cold machinery. They were forced to do so by the employees who have bargained at the expense of all concerned to get and not to give. The watchword of the future will be human happiness and contentment. And when this state of mind shall be attained, the production will take care of itself more effectively than anything else that has ever been accomplished where men did not and could not mix faith and individual interest with their labor. Because of the need for faith and cooperation in operating business and industry, it will be both interesting and profitable to analyze an event which provides an excellent understanding of the method by which industrialists and businessmen accumulate great fortunes by giving before they try to get. The event chosen for this illustration dates back to 1900, when the United States Steel Corporation was being formed. As you read the story, keep in mind these fundamental facts, and you will understand how ideas have been covered into huge fortunes. First, the huge United States Steel Corporation was born in the mind of Charles M. Schwab in the form of an idea he had carried through his imagination. Second, he, Charles Schwab, mixed faith with his idea. Third, he formulated a plan for the transformation of his idea into its physical and financial reality. Fourth, he put his plan into action with his famous speech at the University Club. Fifth, he applied and followed through on his plan with persistence and backed it with a firm decision until it had been fully carried out. Sixth, he prepared the way for success by a burning desire for success. If you are one of those who have often wondered how great fortunes are accumulated, this story of the creation of the United States Steel Corporation will be enlightening. If you have any doubt that men can think and grow rich, This story should dispel that doubt because you can plainly see in the story of the United States Steel Corporation the application of a major portion of the 13 principles described in this book. This astounding description of the power of an idea was dramatically told by John Lowell in the New York World Telegram, with whose courtesy it is here reprinted. A pretty after diner speech for $1 billion. When on the evening of December 12th, 1900, some 80 of the nation's financial nobility gathered in the banquet hall of the University Club on Fifth Avenue, When on the evening of December 12th, 1900, some 80 of the nation's financial nobility gathered in the banquet hall of the University Club on Fifth Avenue to do honor to a young man from out of the West, not half a dozen of the guests realized they were to witness the most significant episode in American industrial history. J. Edward Simmons and Charles Stewart Smith, their hearts full of gratitude for the lavish hospitality bestowed on them by Charles M. Schwab during a recent visit to Pittsburgh, had arranged the dinner to introduce the 38-year-old steel man to Eastern banking society. But they didn't expect him to stampede the convention. They warned him, in fact, that the bosoms within the New York stuffed shirts would not be responsive to oratory, and that if he didn't want to bore the Stillmans and the Harrimans and the Vanderbilts, he had better limit himself to 15 or 20 minutes of polite vaporings and let it go at that. Even John Piermont Morgan, sitting on the right hand of Schwab, as became his imperial dignity, intended to grace the banquet table with his presence only briefly. And so far as the press and public were concerned, the whole affair was of little monument that no mention of it found its way into print the next day. So the two hosts and their distinguished guests are their way through the So the two hosts and their distinguished guests ate their way through the usual 7 or 8 courses. There was little conversation, and what there was of it was restrained. Few of the bankers and the brokers had met Charles Schwab, whose career had followed along with the banks of the Mongolia, and none knew him well. But before the evening was over, they, and with them Money Master Morgan, were to be swept off their feet, and $1 billion baby, the United States Steel Corporation, was to be conceived. It is perhaps unfortunate for the sake of history that no record of Charles Schwab's speech at the dinner was ever made. He repeated some parts of it at a later date during a similar meeting of Chicago bankers, and still later after that, when the form of witness stand of the remarks that stimulated Morgan into a frenzy of financial activity. It is probable, however, that it was a homely speech, somewhat ungrammatical, for the niceties of language neither bothered Schwab, full of epigram and threaded with wit, but aside from that, it had a galvanic force and effect that 5 billions of estimated capital that was represented by the diners. After it was over and the gathering was still under its spell, although Schwab had talked for 90 minutes, Morgan led the orator to a recessed window there. Dangling their legs from the high, uncomfortable seat, they talked for an hour more. The magic of Charles Schwab's personality had been turned on, full force. But what's more important and lasting was the full-fledged, clear-cut program he laid down for the aggrandizement of steel. Many other men had tried to interest Morgan in slapping together a steel trust after the pattern of the biscuit, wire, and hoop, sugar, rubber, whiskey, oil, chewing gum combinations that John W. Gates, the gambler, had urged it, but Morgan distrusted him. The Moore boys, Bill and Jim, Chicago stock jobbers who had glued together a matched trust and a cracker corporation, had urged it and failed. Elbert H. Gary, the sanctimonious country lawyer, wanted to foster it, but he wasn't big enough to be impressive. Until Schwab, eloquence took J.P. Morgan to the heights from which he could visualize the solid results of the most daring financial undertaking ever conceived. The project was regarded as a delirious dream of easy money crackpots. The financial magnetism that began a generation ago to attract thousands of small and sometimes inefficiently managed companies into large and competition-crushing combinations had become operative in the steel world through the devices of that jovial business pirate. John W. Gates had already formed that American Steel and Wire Company out of a chain of small concerns, and together with Morgan had created the Federal Steel Company. The National Tube and American Bridge Companies were two more Morgan concerns, and the Moore brothers had forsaken the match and cookie business to form the American Group Tin Plate, Steel Hoop, Steel Sheet, and National Steel Company. But by the side of Andrew Carnegie's gigantic vertical trust, a trust owned and operated by 53 partners, they might combine to their heart's content, but the whole lot of them couldn't make a dent in Carnegie's organization, and Morgan knew it. The eccentric old Scot knew it too. From the magnificent heights of the Skibo Castle he had viewed, first with amusement and then with resentment, the attempts of Morgan's smaller companies to cut into his business. When the attempts became too bold, Carnegie's temper was translated into anger and retaliation. He decided to duplicate every mill owned by his rivals. I always forget how to say this. Hitherto, he hadn't been impressed in wire, pipe, hoops, or sheet. Instead, he was content to sell such companies the raw steel and let them work it into whatever shape they wanted. Now, with Schwab as his chief and able lieutenant, he planned to drive his enemies to the wall. So it was that, in the speech of Charles M. Schwab, Morgan saw the answer to his problem of combination. A trust without Carnegie, giant of them all, would be no trust at all. A plum puddling, as one writer said, without the plums. Schwab's speech on the night of December 12th, 1900, undoubtedly carried the inference through not the pledge that the vast Carnegie enterprise would be brought under Morgan's tent. He talked of the world fortune for steel, of reorganization for efficiency, and specialization of the scrapping of unsuccessful mills and concentration of effort on the flourishing properties of economies in the ore traffic, of economies in overhead and administration departments, of capturing foreign markets. More than that, he told the buccaneers among them wherein lay the errors of their customary piracy. Their purposes, he inferred, had been to create the monopolies, raise prices, and pay for themselves fat dividends out of the privilege. Schwab condemned the system in his heartiest manner. The short-sightedness of such a policy, he told his hearers, lay in the fact that it has restricted the market in an era which everything cried for expansion. By cheapening the cost of steel, he argued an ever-expanding market which would be created, more uses for steel would be devised, and a goodly portion of the world trade could be captured. Actually, he did not know it. Schwab was an apostle of modern mass production. So the dinner at the University Club came to an end. Morgan went home to think about Schwab's rosy predictions. Schwab went back to Pittsburgh to run the steel business for Andrew Carnegie, while Gary and the rest went back to their stock tickers and to fiddle around in anticipation for the next move. It was not long coming. It took Morgan about 1 week to digest the feast of the reason Schwab had placed before them. When he had assured himself that no financial indigestion was to result, he sent for Schwab and found that young man rather coy. Mr. Carnegie, Schwab indicated, might not like it if he found his trusted company president had been flirting with the Emperor of Wall Street, the street upon which Carnegie was resolved never to tread. Then it was suggested by John W. Gates, the go-between, that if Schwab happened to be in the Bellevue Hotel in Philadelphia, that J.P. Morgan might also happen to be there. When Schwab arrived, however, Morgan was inconveniently ill at his New York home, and so, on the elder man's pressing invitation, Schwab went to New York and presented himself at the door of the financier's library. Now, certain economic historians have professed the belief that from the beginning to the end of the drama, the stage was set by Andrew Carnegie, that the dinner to Schwab, the famous speech, the Sunday night conference between Schwab and the Money King were events arranged by the canny Scott. The truth is exactly the opposite. When Schwab was called into the consummate the deal, he didn't even know whether the little boss, as Andrew was called, would so much as listen to an offer to sell, particularly to a group of men who Andrew regarded as being endowed with something less than holiness. But Schwab did not take into the conference with him in his own handwriting 6 sheets of copper plate figures, representing to his mind the physical worth and the potential earning capacity of every steel company he regarded as an essential star in the new metal firmament. 4 men pondered over these figures all night long. The chief, of course, was Morgan, steadfast in his belief in the divine right of money. With him was his aristocratic partner, Robert Bacon, a scholar and a gentleman. The third was John W. Gates, who Morgan scorned as a gambler and used as a tool. The fourth was Schwab himself, who knew more about the process of making and selling steel than any whole group of men living. Throughout that conference, the Pittsburghers' figures were never questioned. If he said a company was worth so much, then it was worth that much and no more. He was so insistent, too, upon including in the combination only those concerns he nominated, he had conceived a corporation in which there would be no duplication, not even to satisfy the greed of friends who wanted to unload their companies upon the broad Morgan shoulders. Thus he left out, by the design, a number of larger concerns upon which walruses and carpenters of Wall Street had cast hungry eyes. When dawn came, Morgan rose and straightened his back. Only one question remained. Do you think you can persuade Andrew Carnegie to sell? He asked. I can try, said Schwab. If you can get him to sell, I will undertake the matter, said Morgan. So far, so good. But would Carnegie sell? How much would he demand? Schwab thought about $320 million 1925 dollars. What would he take payment in? Common or preferred stocks, bonds, cash money? Nobody could raise $350 million in cash. There was a golf game in January on the frost-crackling health of the St. Andrew Links in Westchester, with Andrew bundled up in sweaters against the cold and Charlie talking volubly as usual to keep his spirits up. But no word of business was mentioned until the pair sat down in the cozy warmth of Carnegie Cottage by then. Hard by. Then, with the same persuasiveness that had hypnotized 80 millionaires at the university club, Schwab poured out the glittering promises of retirement and comfort, of untold millions to satisfy the old man's social caprices. Carnegie capitulated, wrote a figure on a slip of paper, handed it to Schwab, and said, "All right, that's what we'll sell for." The figure was approximately $400 million. and was reached by taking the $320 million that Schwab as a basic figure and adding to it only $80 million to represent the increased capital over the previous 2 years. Later, on the deck of transatlantic liner, the Scotsman said ruefully to Morgan, "I wish I had asked you for $100 million more." "If you had asked for it, you'd have gotten it," Morgan told him cheerfully. There was an uproar, of course. A British correspondent cabled that for the foreign steel world was appalled by the gigantic combination. President Hadley of Yale declared that unless trusts were regulated, the country might expect an emperor in Washington within the next 25 years. But that able stock manipulator, Keene, went at his work of shoving the new stock at the public so vigorously that all the accesses of water, estimated by some at nearly $600 million, was absorbing in a twinkling. So Carnegie had his millions and the Morgan Syndicate had $62 million for all of its trouble. And all the boys from the Gates to Gary had their millions. The 38-year-old Schwab, he was only 38 years old in 1925 doing this. Jeez. The 38-year-old Schwab had his reward. He was made president of this new corporation and remained in control until 1930, 30 years later. The dramatic story of big business, which you guys have just finished hearing, was included in this book because it's a perfect illustration of the method by which desire, my friends, can be transmuted into physical equivalent. Now, I imagine some readers and some of you guys that's listening to Shannon right now will question the statement that a mere intangible desire can be converted into physical equipment. I know some of you guys think that's bullshit. I get it. Doubtless, some will say, you cannot convert nothing into something. I understand that some people believe that. The answer is in the story of the United States Steel Company. That giant organization was created in the mind of one man. The plan by which the organization was provided with, the steel mills that gave it its financial stability, was created in the mind of the same man. His faith, his desire, his imagination, his persistence were the real ingredients that went the steel mills and mechanical equipment acquired by that corporation after it had been brought into legal existence were incidental, but careful analysis will disclose the fact that the appraised value of the properties acquired by the corporation increased in value by an estimated $600 million by the mere transaction which consolidates them under one management. Everybody, throw up your ones.
Being number one isn't easy.
Soldiers,
being number
throw up your
one
ones.
isn't easy.
Friends
being
and
number
family,
one
throw up
isn't
your ones.
easy.
That's my biggest super chat to date. I've never received a super chat so large. I never received a super chat so large, and with it came no message, but a big message inherently. $300 super chat to the channel from Ace Senior. Yesterday, he gave me $200. No, I think he gave me $300. Yes. Ace Senior hit us with a $300 super chat. That's the largest super chat I've ever received. He is a soldier in the Army. He is a special forces soldier in the Army. He donates to the channel every time he gets an opportunity to. He is a military man himself. He is an entrepreneur and a benefactor of this particular channel. Thank you so much, A Senior. Yes, we stop reading when people bless the channel like that. All the soldiers, please hit him
Being
with a
number
one.
one isn't easy.
Call him out by name, A Senior. Call him out by name, you guys. A Senior. Shout out to A Senior. We appreciate you, bro. There you go. I see it, everybody. Hit him with a one.
Being number one isn't easy.
Thank you so much, A Senior, for that super chat. I appreciate you for your continued support. You motivate people like me to continue doing what I'm doing. Some people are like tuned out. I was reading just now. I know people were tuned out. They're like, man, what is he talking? I'm motivated to do it because I know somebody's, as long as I'm getting through to one person, I've succeeded. As long as I'm getting through to one person, I've succeeded. And people like A Senior and all the other people who's supported this channel is helping me make that happen. Thank you so much, bro. That's right, Alicia. Thank you for your service too, bro. Thank you so much. We're getting ready to wrap up this chapter and be done. In other words, for those that don't believe and think this is a lot of bull, for those that don't believe that you could turn nothing into something, that believing using faith cannot be transmuted into physical reality. In other words, Charles M. Schwab idea, plus the faith in which he conveyed it to the minds of J.P. Morgan, faith that I believe that, sidebar, Ace Senior has with his trucking company. And that's brought him to the riches that he has. And others was marketed for a profit of approximately $600 million of 1925 money. I don't know what $600 million in 2021 dollars equal. It's not an insignificant sum for a single idea. Not bad for an idea, right? What happened to some of the men who took their share of the millions of dollars of profit made by this transaction is a matter with which we are not now concerned. The important feature of this astounding achievement is that it serves as the unquestionable evidence of the soundness of the philosophy described in this book. Because this philosophy was the warp and the woof of the entire transaction. Moreover, the practicability of this philosophy has been established by the fact that the United States Steel Corporation prospered and became one of the richest and most powerful corporations in America, employing thousands of people, developing new uses for steel and opening new markets, thus proving that the $600 million in profit which the Schwab idea produced was earned. You see, my friends, listen. Riches, money, wealth, a comfortable lifestyle that you all would like to have begins in the form of thought. The amount is limited only by the person in whose mind the thought is put into motion. Faith removes the limitations, you guys. Faith removes the limitations. Remember this when you are ready to bargain with life. For having passed this way, remember this when you are ready to bargain with life for whatever it is that you ask for, your price for having passed this way. Remember also that the man who created the United States Steel Corporation was practically unknown at the time. He was merely Andrew Carnegie's Man Friday until he gave birth to his famous idea. After that, he quickly rose to a position of power, fame, and riches. There are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. Both poverty and riches are the offspring of thought. There are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. Both poverty, broke, and riches, wealthy, are the offspring of your thoughts. Let's go through the key ideas of this chapter. Key ideas: faith. is a state of mind, you guys, that can be created by saying affirmations or auto-suggestion. That means you got to say it out loud. Affirmations. You got to say it out loud. You can't say it in your head. 12. Thoughts that have been mixed with faith or any of the other positive emotions are the ones that get implanted in the subconscious and are the ones that come true. 13. The same thing is true of negative thoughts and emotions. If you think negative shit, you'll become negative shit. If you think positive shit, you become positive. 14. The best way to speed the process of manifestation along is to act as if you want it to already be true. You got to act as if what you want is already true. It'll speed along the process. Number 15. When Napoleon Hill, the author of the book, talks about faith, he's not talking about religious faith. You guys realize that, right? That's another thing. I wanted to mention this earlier. Even though he brought up Christianity to give you a perspective of what he meant by faith, the faith that he's talking about is not religious faith. This ain't got nothing to do with the Bible or Bible thumping or going to church. He's talking about believing that your dream will come true. 16. Taking inventory of mental assets and liabilities will discover that your greatest weakness is lack of self-confidence. 17. There are 6 steps to achieving a great goal. They are, number 1, create an idea through your imagination. Number 2, mix your faith with your idea. Number 3, formulate a plan for the transformation of your idea into physical and financial reality. Number 4, put your plan into action. Number 5, apply and follow through on your plan with persistence and back it with a firm decision until it has been fully carried out. Number 6, prepare the way for success by a burning desire for success. Number 24, riches begin in the form of thought. The amount is limited only by the person in whose mind the thought is put into motion. Faith removes limitations. And that is seen. Hold on. All right, there we go. That's chapter 3, my friends. Will you be back with me on Monday at 10 o'clock Monday? We read 3 more chapters. We do 4, 5, and 6 next week. We're going to knock out chapter 4, 5, and 6 next week. Hopefully you guys will tap in with me. Monday at 10 o'clock, Wednesday at 9, and Friday at 9 of next week. What are you guys talking about over in the chat? What are you guys talking about in the chat? Don't tell me. Did you just say Rittenhouse was not guilty on all charges? God damn. Hold on a second. Shout out to RCC. RCC, that is your second blessing of the day. He's paying his chat tuition. Shout out to RCC. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your blessings, man. Thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. You guys don't understand how it's weird, you know, because when I first jumped on YouTube and I would give super chats to people, I would throw money, give them a couple dollars. Then I started giving 20, then I started giving 50, then I started giving hundreds. And I was thinking, oh man, you know, they keep thanking me, but they don't got to thank me. Why are they doing all that? They saying too much. They stopping the show. Just take the bread and go. I'm just trying to help you out, man. You know, just spend your time and your effort. It's no big deal. Until I started my own channel. And then you guys started blessing me. You can't not acknowledge it. It's hard to do when people are blessing you for, I don't know, just providing content. When people like RCC is just out there hitting you with super chats, it's like super dope. It really is super dope. Look at that. And now we got Jill. What's going on with my AirPods? Hold on a second, you guys. Gotta get my ear. Okay. And then Jill hits us with a super chat. You know, Ace Senior seems to be carrying the channel. He just hits me with a $300 super chat. RCC already gave. These are soldiers in the army, by the way, you, ladies and gentlemen. And then RCC turns around and hits us with another super chat talking about tuition. And as I'm talking, then here comes Jill. Hits us with a $5 super chat. This was awesome content. Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. This was awesome content, Shannon. Thank you. No, thank you, Jill, for even being here. I'm happy that you guys are just listening to me. You know, I'm real blessed that I even have somebody to even sit here and listen at me. You know how much of a blessing that is? You know how hard it is to have somebody sit around and listen at you read a book? There's people on YouTube that don't have an audience. They go live and ain't nobody there. There's nobody there. There's no chat. There's no visitors. There's nobody whatsoever. So how do you think I feel when I'm on YouTube and people like you guys, like Jill and like Snuggles, just keeps blessing the channel? Like Snuggles 6 she's a consistent person as well. She's always blessing the channel. She said, just because you are talking smack and everyone is trying to show up, everyone, and I have no idea what is going on because I do not know. How are you? She just gave a $5 super chat just because you talking smack and everyone is trying to show up, everyone, and I have no idea what's going on, and because I do not know. How are you? I'm well, Snuggles. That's what I'm talking about. So when I was giving blessings and I was out giving super chats to people, it was no big deal. And now that I'm receiving them, I understand why they made it such a big deal. Because I always feel like, why are they talking? Man, it's just a little, it's just money, right? We make it, we spend it. We make it, we spend it. It's just money. At least that's the mindset of wealthy people. So, you know, we make money, we spend it. So the people that's blessing the chat, I get it. I know how you think it. Shannon, it's just money, bro. Take it. It's good. Don't, you know, chill. But it's hard to do that when you receive it and you're so, and I'm appreciative of you guys. So thank you so much. And thank you to everybody that's even bothering to be here on this Rich People Read book club on YouTube. I can't wait to, I'm just thinking about the other future books that we're going to read. I've read this book a lot of times. I need to finally put it into action. I haven't done that ever. That's what I'm looking to do this time. So thank you guys for listening at me. Thank you that I even have an audience. I'm blessed to even have an audience. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. We are getting ready to do the chat contest. Did everybody salute? Did everybody send their salute? Look at that. And then Lakeisha hits us with one. Another $5 super chat from Lakeisha. Thanks, Shan. We appreciate you. Lakeisha, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I know, right? The system is late, but it's all, but it catches it every time. Thank you, Lakeisha, for your $5 super chat. I appreciate you, love. I appreciate you so much. You guys, we getting ready to do a giveaway. You guys keep blessing me. I can't even get. It's cool. I mean, it's just super cool that you guys are doing that. And then come on, and then Miss Drea. I look down and bam, I'm gonna wait for the system to say something. Then I'm gonna hit it at the same time. It better say something. It better say something. Boom. Miss Drea hit us with this $20 super chat. The triple cha-chings. Everybody throw up
Being
your
number
ones.
one isn't easy.
Being number one isn't easy. Thank you so much, Miss Drea. A soldier in our army. Thank you so much, Miss Drea. Thank you so much. A soldier in the SR Army. What does Miss Drea say? She says, thank you for your time and talent. Your voice is so easy to listen to. See, you gonna fuck around and have me go take voice lessons to make sure my inflections are proper, and that it is soothing and easy to listen to, and that I'm able to read. Sherry, shout out to Sherry Farley. What is this? What are you guys doing? Sherry Farley hits us with a super chat, and she doesn't even say anything. She just like salute. She has nothing to say. She just says, Shannon, here's just $10. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you, Sherry. I can't even finish thanking the last person before I got somebody new to thank. Listen, you guys, we're on chapter 3. We just finished chapter 3 of Think and Grow Rich, where we read Monday, Wednesday, and today, Friday. Next week, we're going to read again Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, chapters 4, 5, and 6. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here and listening to me. Thank you so much. Make sure everybody that's given the $20 or more super chat, you guys follow instructions, and we're going to have the giveaway. You know, we have a giveaway, right? Every time I go live, we do a giveaway. It's just what we do. And so we're going to do our giveaway right now. Did everybody say salute? I'm not going to beg y'all, but we're going to switch to the screen. Let's switch to the chat winner. No. Here we go, you guys. Here we go. Who's in the running? Who all said salute? You guys got 10 seconds to type salute with an exclamation point. You got 10 seconds to type the word salute in the chat and add the exclamation point on the end. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's refresh the page. Let's see how we're looking. There you go. There's everybody. That sucker jumped from 6 to 15. And here we go. Let's pick our winner for today. So we're going to close the entries. We're going to close the entries. Now the system is going to tell you that there's no new entries. New entries into this contest have been stopped, and you can no longer enter the contest. And our winner of today's giveaway is Miss Drea. Miss Drea. I think Miss Drea won. I got to keep a log of the winners. I don't know if Miss Drea won before. Hold on. I think I do have a log. Hold on, Miss Drea. If you on my log, we got to give the winner to somebody else. Because I want to give everybody an opportunity to win. Hold on one second. Let me go. That's not what I want. I want this screen. I want window, notes. I want to go to admin. I want to go to chat winners. Miss Drea, you won before. Snuggle says it's rigged. Snuggle says it's rigged. Now, I don't know if this system will allow me to win, let somebody win again. But Miss Drea, I got you already on the list as a winner. I don't know if it'll let somebody win again. Let me see. Oh, I could pick another winner. I could pick another winner, you guys. Miss Drea, you already won. You already won before. You're on my list of winners. You're on my list of winners. So we're going to pick another winner. Here we go. RCC 72 Detroit. RCC 72 Detroit is the winner of today's contest. Let me log him in. Let me log him in. RCC. He's present. Follow the instructions that's just written in the chat with your name highlighted. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. I'm going to tell the app that we are done. I think it's that section that says I'm done. Where's it at? There it is. complete. And then we can go back to monologue. I wasn't even on the right one. RPR. There we go. There we go. And then I need to tell this thing to log. Hold on one second. Let me just updating some things. Log. Okay. Log the new winner on the winners list. All right, got that. Cool. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for pulling up. We're going to go live again later on today with High Value Shan. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and you like this video. I really need your likes. The likes matter. They matter to let YouTube know if they should share my videos to more people. The subscriptions help you more out. The likes help me. Subscribing to the channel is to your benefit, and hitting the bell so you'll know whenever we go live and so you can see all this content. The likes help me tell YouTube that the channel is worth, these videos are worth showing other people. The more likes I get, the more people that see these videos. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you. Please join the army, join the SR Army. New soldiers are always welcome. My name is Mr. Shan. I'm the man with the plan. I've been there, done that. Not much surprises me. And you, my friends, are dismissed.
Yeah. Escucha. Mío en tu habitación, solo los 2 segundos que hay que detener. Porque si no siento tu voz o tu olor, te extraño y te quiero ver. Quiero ver. Tanto me falta.
Yes, Jill. I'm drinking, baby. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Don't forget to drink your cherry limeade, BCAAs. I need to add some ginger to it. I've never added ginger to it. I've never added ginger to it, but I'll do that. I know how to obey. Thank you, my love. Thank you, my love.
Solo de la dirección. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. Pa' mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión. Somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas. Somos perfectos, es algo indiscutible. Mi estilo y tu estilo no están disponibles. Solo soy sensible cuando te tengo porque eres irresistible. Tus labios combinan con tus ojos, porque eres tan pretty que hasta yo de eso miento. Chica, necesito mis anteojos. Quiero verte en noche hermosa de todos modos. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. A mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión. Somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta.
Oh, the ginger is for my sniffles. Okay. See, again, remember, I lack in the nutrition side. I need me a woman that knows how to help me with this stuff. I'll make the money, baby. I just need a woman that's gonna be able to cultivate and keep me healthy and strong.
Tanto
tienes pinta la indicada.